Cruising is one of the best vacations you can take. But before you board, there are a few things I really wish someone had told me. So in this video, I'm sharing 8 simple tips that can save you time, money, and stress on your next sailing. Number 1, prepay your gratuities. A lot of first-time cruisers don't really realize that daily gratuities are automatically added to your account. It's usually around $15 to $20 per person per day, depending on which cruise line you sail on. So on a 7-night cruise, a family of 4 could easily see $400 plus added to their bill. And if you weren't expecting this, this can be quite a shock. So for us, we prefer to prepay our gratuities when booking or sometime before you actually sail. And this way, it's taken care of and you can just enjoy the cruise without having to worry about your balance increasing each day. It's not a lot of fun to go on what you think is a prepaid trip and everything's going to be included, and to log into your folio and just see that balance go up by $60, $70 a day, especially when you didn't account for it. Number 2, bring a carry-on bag for day 1. So when you board, you're not going to see your luggage right away. Rooms can take a long time to get ready, and even once they do open up, your bags are probably not going to show up immediately, and sometimes it takes up to several hours for them to actually arrive at your room. Think about it. There's thousands of pieces of luggage being sorted and delivered all at once. So for our strategy, we always board already wearing our swimsuits so we can head straight to the pool. My wife wears something she can throw over her suit, and we carry a small bag with sunscreen, change of clothes, and anything else we might need to enjoy the ship from the moment we get on board. That way we're not relying on our luggage arriving before we can actually enjoy what the ship has to offer. Number 3, bring small bills for extra tips. Yes, all major cruise lines automatically add gratuities to your account. However, having some cash on hand, especially small bills like 1s and 5s, makes your trip a little bit smoother. It's common courtesy to give a few dollars to the porter who takes your luggage at the port. You know, when you arrive via your Uber, your personal vehicle, however you get there, there's going to be plenty of employees there ready to take your luggage from you. They're going to make sure it gets on the ship. So it's definitely typical to give them a few dollars. And then when you're on board, like I said, you've already prepaid your gratuities, hopefully, if you listen to the first tip. But there's going to be opportunities where you go to the bar, you get a drink, and slipping that server $1 here or $1 there for the drink that you order isn't required at all, but it's definitely appreciated, and they'll often remember that gesture. You know, the crew members work really hard, and those small gestures can go a long way on your trip in both service and goodwill. They're going to remember you next time, and they might get you your drink a little bit quicker, so it's definitely valuable to bring small bills for that reason. Number 4, drink packages aren't always a good deal. Yes, it seems tempting to buy the unlimited drink package. That way you can order whatever you want, whenever you want, without having to think about it or having to pay for it. Those packages are usually pretty expensive. Usually they're about $60 to $90 a day per person. And if you're in a room that has multiple adults that are over 21, if one adult buys the package, the other adults typically have to do it too. So on a 7-night cruise, if you have 2 adults, you're going to be spending $1,000 or more just on drink packages. That's in addition to what you already spent to go on the cruise. So for us, it's just not worth it. My wife and I usually have a couple of drinks by the pool during the day, and maybe we'll have a glass of wine at dinner. And when you do the math, paying a la carte is much cheaper for us. If you're someone that enjoys indulging a bit more, or you like having specialty coffees and mocktails, maybe the package makes sense for you. I would just encourage you to do the math ahead of time before committing. Typically, the drinks on a cruise ship are going to be like $14 to $17 for the cocktails. Beers will be slightly cheaper, but they're still going to be more expensive than bars on land. So I would encourage you to do the math ahead of time. And for us, it just makes sense to pay a la carte. Number 5, don't overpack. So when you go on a cruise, the cabins are going to be smaller than what you're used to in hotel rooms. So your storage space is going to be very limited. It's very easy to bring way too much, especially if you're trying to plan a different outfit for every night. On a 7-night cruise, there's usually only 2 formal or dress your best evenings. We used to overpack, and we still do sometimes, but we've learned that it's fine to repeat outfits. For example, for myself, I'll typically wear the same dress slacks on both formal nights. I'll just switch it up with a different shirt. Honestly, there's been plenty of cruises where we've brought way too many clothes and a lot of them never even got worn. They just hung in the closet, had to get transported to the ship, had to get transported home, and they never even got worn. Definitely pack less. You'll thank yourself later. Number 6, you don't have to book every excursion through the cruise line. Yes, the cruise line is going to make booking excursions really convenient. The trade-off for that is you're going to pay a premium booking through them. Most of the same excursions that are available by the cruise line are going to be available directly through local operators for a lot less money. The best example I can give for this was we had a cruise that stopped in Aruba. We were looking at the Crystal Caves excursion through the Royal Caribbean app, and it was going to cost us $780 for 4 of us. We opted to grab a taxi, which was $45 each way, so $90 total. And then when we got to the Crystal Caves, you could purchase your ticket for the tour, and it was $40 per person for the cave tour. Our total was around $250, and it was going to be $780 if we booked it through the cruise ship. Not only did we save a lot of money, but going on our own gave us the freedom and the opportunity to do other things that day that we never would have had the chance to do if we had booked through the cruise ship. That said, there is a catch if you decide to book your own excursion. If you book through the cruise line and your excursion runs late, maybe the bus you're on breaks down or something just takes longer than what was originally planned, the ship is going to wait for you. If you book independently, you're on your own. If for whatever reason you're delayed getting back to the ship and it's past the cutoff time for boarding, the ship's going to leave you. That's not going to happen if you book through the cruise, but if you book independently, that will happen. They will not wait for you. So if you're worried about cutting it close at all, just go ahead and book with the cruise line. But if you want to save money and you're confident that you'll get back in time, doing it yourself makes a lot of sense. Number 7, the elevators will test your patience. Elevators on cruise ships are notorious. You'll wait, you'll hear the ding, the doors are going to open, and it's probably going to be jam-packed. So what I choose to do to make my life easier is if I'm going down, I'm typically just going to take the stairs. It's quick. It helps balance out all the extra food I've been eating anyway. And it's also significantly easier to go down flights of stairs than it is to go up. If I am going up, I usually just wait it out for the elevator unless it's only 1 or 2 flights, and then I'll walk. Another trick when you get out of a show and everybody's exiting out the same door, they're all waiting in the same area for the elevator, is to move up or down 1 floor. When you walk up or down 1 flight, it's just going to make it a lot less crowded. Number 8, ship time versus local time can get you in trouble. This one trips up a lot of first timers. The ship runs on its own time, and it doesn't always match what the local time is in port. When you're traveling from place to place, the local time is going to change, but the ship time is going to stay the same for the duration of your cruise. If your phone automatically updates to local time and you don't notice, you could end up showing late to the ship and they will leave without you. So always stick to the ship time. What I would recommend is to double check your phone before you leave the ship. You want to make sure that it's set to manual time and you can put it on the ship time and that it won't automatically change when you get off the ship to what the local time is. So those are my 8 tips that can save you time, money, and a lot of stress when you cruise. If you've got a favorite cruise tip that I didn't mention, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. If you want more cruise advice and tips, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.